problem is that you are punishing yourself for eating something bad, and then that's rewiring your brain to connect the idea of punishment to training. Because every time you go to train, it's because you did something stupid, like eat something bad, and then you're like, well, now I need to go punish myself. And the thing is that every time you train in punishment mode, you're wiring to your brain the memory that this training is for punishment and not for enjoyment. And so you're not going to want to go work out or train. I have a client who made bicycling her goal to improve her fitness regimen. And at first, I noticed she enjoyed bicycling, but then as she stopped getting to her designated markers on her tracker, she stopped enjoying bicycling. When she would talk about it, she would have like a cringy face, and I'd be like, "Well, what's going on there? You used to love bicycling," and it's because of the reward system got taken over. So, what should we do? Right? What's the solve? What's the solution for this? How do we go about changing this? And to me, the number one thing is to ask, can your workout be play? Can it be fun? Can it be enjoyable? Now, the difference between Michelle Seeger, the author, and myself, and how we view play, we have different interpretations. Because in her interpretation, play is kind of what naturally just comes to you as play. However, I do believe we need to have some willpower and discipline to start to create new beliefs behind play. You know, I used to not like working out. I used to not like training, but then I started developing the skills behind it, and I started getting better at it. And then when I saw a CrossFit video, I still remember it. I was sitting there eating my sausage scramble for breakfast, right? And I was watching the TV before getting ready for a midterm. And I was watching on the screen, and I saw this woman getting ready for her CrossFit event, and she had her headphones on, and she was just jamming out, having a good time. And while she was having that good time, she was just having so much fun to be there at the event and to be so excited to do the training. And that made me realize, like, oh, it doesn't have to suck. It doesn't have to be hard to go do training, right? You can actually do rigorous and regimented things and actually find a benefit out of it. So we should ask ourselves, how can we make our training a gift to ourselves? If it's the things that we don't like doing but we're forced to do it, let's say a physical therapist is telling you to do something or your coach is telling you to do something and you're like, I hate this. Well, then we need to figure out why you hate it and then figure out how can you learn to love it. Right? Now, this is not every circumstance. Sometimes there may be reasons why you actually hate that thing, but we oftentimes don't give ourselves enough room to fall in love with things because we think we hate them so much, because we've connected so much negativity to them. So instead, we want to rewire positive thinking towards the things that we're doing. So how can we make what we're doing a gift? You know, doing your daily exercises here at Stick to It Fit in the squad with the Momentum Morning, you're learning that you're getting better at these skills. Every single day that you do it, you're like, hey, I'm getting better at this. And then what happens as each time you get better at it, then you start to develop more skill and you get addicted to doing it, right? And so you want to do it more and more and more. And that is the mantra here that we have. Dare I do it? Yeah, I should.
Work is play.
Iggy, by the way, when you're saying, I want to pull up that comment real quick. Iggy said to us this morning, sounds like we need to have a chat with someone about bicycling. That's the someone I was talking about, actually. So you and I are maybe simpatico on that one. That's funny. Okay, and so we're going to move forward here through our slides. Framing a behavior as work is depleting. The science actually shows that in the studies out of the book mentioned from Michelle Seeger's book, Framing a Behavior as Work is Depleting, right? So, you know, if you're like gardening, right, and you really enjoy gardening, when you go out there and do a bunch of work in it, it doesn't really drain you, right? You might want to take a little break, but you're not drained. As to someone else who hates gardening, right, if they go garden and then they finish with their gardening, they don't want to do anything else because they're like, oh, this sucks, right? And that's the difference between someone who enjoys what they're doing and someone who doesn't. When I get up in the morning and swing a kettlebell 200 times, you know, I've taught myself to enjoy how I feel because I did that. You know, I think the older self, the older version of me, if I would have swung a bell 200 times, I would have used that as an excuse to eat bad foods. I would have used that as an excuse to go goof off. I would have used that as an excuse not to do my work. Okay, so that's the difference again behind perception. So once we start framing a behavior as fun, you know, then it becomes vitalizing. Then we get more energy, we get more joy in what we're doing. And so whatever the task is that you do not enjoy doing, even if it's doing dishes, how can you have fun doing the dishes? Put a tune on in your head, maybe do a little dance while you're shining the dishes, putting it up on the rack, right? You're having fun with it. And then that's what makes the task more enjoyable, makes you happier. And when you are happier, you perform better. And when you perform better, you get more of what you want in life. It's just that simple. Okay. So, like, look here. These exercises are strenuous, right? Do you think that that guy hates doing this? He's enjoyed learning how to do these skills. That's how he's gotten good at it. When I was young and I used to see people like this, I'd be like, oh, he was born like that. That's just how he is. But it's just not true. People aren't born that way. Doing exercise like this, look, this guy is the same thing we did as kids, right? We were having fun on the playground. We were playing. And that's what fitness is supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. You want to find a way to enjoy what you're doing in life. Oh, I have too many videos to try to run at once, I think, to make this one work. Let's watch the grandma. Right? So it doesn't matter what level age you are, you can have fun with it. Look at her pants there. Graham and I worked at a athletic facility called Alita. Graham as in Iggy in our group here. We worked at a facility in Alita, and there were many women, just like this woman in the middle here, with their fancy colored pants. And by the way, they had more fun than anybody in the gym. And they were there consistently. They would literally put on like Congo dances, and we would be doing dancing up and down the gym. That's how much fun we had together, because they just know how to play. They know how to have fun, and that's why they kept staying there consistently. Okay, so remember to have fun, to enjoy the process behind what you're doing, and figure out how to turn your workout into something that you enjoy. If it's something you're not liking right now, then maybe it's just an interpretation problem, right? It's a malfunction in thinking. I actually have a sticky note right here next to my side. It says, if you are unhappy, there is a malfunction in thinking, right? So it's always back to in here. The real issue at hand is we're constantly barraged with what's outside of us, right? We're constantly looking at what's out there, and then we put significance to everything that's out there, but we don't allow ourselves to see what's on the internal part of our body, the biology of what's inside of us. And unless you really study biology, I have fortunate enough to have a degree in human biology that it's easier for me to interpret the story going on inside of me. But for an outsider, maybe if you haven't really studied the inside of your body, then you don't understand the full story that's going on in there. And so you're not really paying attention to it. Just like in our woke culture, outside, there's a story going on about race and gender inequality, and there's a lot of people who are really putting their attention on that, which is good. But the thing is that the narrative is really loud there now, right? And so narratives can be controlled based upon what we learn about and what we become aware of. And so if we become more aware of our internals and be aware that there are little troops in there working for you, and that it takes time for them to switch what they're doing to rebuild and to change what's going on inside your body so that you can create a new version of yourself and become someone better than you were yesterday in your own terms, if that makes sense. Graham says he got his Sunday workout done despite being up all night sick. Oh, with a sick dog. Whew. I saw the dog part. You scared me there. I thought you got the COVID for a second. Okay, so everybody out there, making sure we're having fun today on this enjoyable day. I'm going to go out and enjoy the sun later on, but first I got to do some homework. So make sure you get the work done, but remember the homework is going to be fun as well. Work is play.
Work is play.
The world famous habit roll call.
All right. If you stuck with me there, we're going to move on into the habit roll call. That was just a big topic that I wanted to cover for motivation. So we're going to move on down now, going down onto the habit roll call. Sorry, it always takes me a second to get everybody lined up here. Okay. Was feeling blah in the afternoon, but I managed to change my state today, and I went to the gym. This is Jonathan Hernandez, by the way. Always there with me in the comedy group in the mornings. It was leg day, and now I feel ready to have an amazing sleep. Oh, love it. See, that leg day, one of those for you. Doing leg day is such a great way to get better sleep. People ask me all the time, how do you get better sleep? Well, shoot. Oops, not showing you the comment. Getting your squats in, that's going to be a great way to go to sleep. That's for sure. Mike Wassman, day 24 of meditation and day 9 of the magical trifecta. Beautiful. Thank you, Mike Wassman, for getting in day 24 and 9 of the trifecta. Okay, day 3 of the reset done. That was from yesterday. Evelyn Price wanted to share a little bit. I wanted you guys to see this. I think this is really important. After my 2 surgeries last year, I couldn't hardly move and gained a lot of weight back. Since I started this, I'm doing a lot of stretching. 40 kettlebell swings, 31 clean and lifts, and 12 toe touches today. I've lost an inch off my waist and a half inch off my hips. Only weigh on Sundays. Don't think I lost much, but at least I'm going in the right direction. Love this. There it is. So I think it's more about the movement for you and coming back from the surgery, right? And it's not really about weight as we're learning. It's about enjoying the process and loving this. Jonathan Hernandez, yesterday I rocked the push-ups at the gym, went from 5 to 15. Thank you for that second check-in, Jonathan. Erin Walter, thank you for the episode. She needed it. Thank you. I needed to hear that. You needed to hear that. Boom, you're sticking to your squats. Samantha, check-in Saturday. You kicked ass. Fuck. I love potty mouth. I love potty mouth. That's, kick that ass, baby. Love it. Jonathan, thank you for saying you loved the intro. I know they're super long. Really, the intro is there to buy me some time to get ready. I need time to get ready for this thing. But also, the video is also there for people who are brand new who have never seen it, obviously, and to hypnotize you guys, because repetition is key. When you're sticking to anything, it's remembering to repeat those things over and over. And so I'm trying to repeat messaging that is helpful to positive transformation in one's life. And that's the idea, is keeping you guys momentally motivated. Okay? I think there was more check-ins, but these keep getting spread out, so I apologize if I missed someone's name. I know there's more here somewhere. Well, I think that's all I've got on here for today on the check-ins. And I'll be back tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. with another tidbit for you. We're going to go over a heuristic of the day, the hazard to look out for, something that might be sabotaging you from your success, and instead will keep you motivated and on the momentum train so that you have an unfair advantage over the people who aren't doing this. And that's the difference, right? 90% of the people out there aren't thinking like this, but once you start to rebuild this thinking into your life, then you're going to have an advantage on those other 90% of the people. And right now, at a time like this, I'm not saying to be an advantage over people, but it's important to be robust, right? Because you just don't know what's going to happen. All right, everybody. Stick to it to get to it. I'm out.
You gotta stick to it to get to it.